Welcome to the Joanna McNamee Show. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, joined by the head coach of the University of Pikeville women's basketball team, Joanna McNamee, and the Bears women coming off a 93-59 blowout win over West Virginia Tech at the U-Pike Gym. And first things first, I've got to say it was nice to be back in the gym. My first memories of the U-Pike Gym were in the 70s, in the days of Wayne Martin at then Pikeville College. And we've gotten away from that. It's close, it's comfortable, it's loud, and sometimes that's lost in the Expo Center. We love the Expo Center. What a great facility, but it was good to be back in the gym and see a great win. Seemed the girls enjoyed shooting in that gym as well.
Yeah, they definitely did. It brought back, we looked pretty good in that gym, shooting-wise.
Really did. Does it make a difference? Do the girls speak of the difference when they have the sight lines in the gym as opposed to the Expo? Because they see it, the Expo a lot, and I would imagine they and the men's team as adjusted to the Expo Center as anyone can be,
right,
as many shots as they get up. But does it make a difference? Because you hear commentators, you hear the experts say, well, if they play in a dome or if they play in a regular on-campus facility, it makes a difference to shooters. Does it truly?
I think that perception, I think it does a little bit make a difference, especially, but not at this point where they've been in the Expo for practice after practice. But I do think it could trip teams up that play in a very small gym and they haven't been practicing in the Expo to come in and play in the Expo, because there really isn't anything behind you. I mean, it's got quite a distance around the basket, so there's no, it's harder to judge, especially from the corners, and so I think there's an advantage there for us. But I don't think at this point it's any disadvantage to us being in the Expo.
Right. 93-59, 7 U-Pike women in double figures in that win.
Yeah, finally. I mean, it was a good team win. Everybody showed up to play and showed up at different times, and it was fun. We finally started to run our transition, I think, a little bit better. That was something I complained about last week. And it was just a lot of fun to finally see the team that I think that could come out more often.
And, of course, 90 points against Asbury in an exhibition game earlier, the first time during the regular season that you've hit 90 points. Is that where you want this team to be?
Yeah, I mean, I like to increase the amount of possessions in a game. I don't, a lot of basketball today is so boring because, especially on the men's side, big Division I will wait, they have a 35-second shot clock, and they really don't try to pursue scoring until maybe 15 seconds left in the shot clock. And that drives me crazy. I don't even want to worry about the shot clock. Like, I never want to even be close to a shot clock violation. I just want to play the earliest, best shot. I always tell our team, shoot it before we turn it over.
Absolutely. So. And, of course, now near mid-December, finals out of the way. Almost out of the way, right, and heading toward the second semester. At this point in the season, you seem to be in a little better mindset this week than you were last. Have you seen that much improvement in the team?
No, that's just what a good win will do for you. We have improved a little bit. I mean, we just need to get a win under our belt that was a convincing win. I think that's our first convincing win of the year, and I think it, of course, gave me a little bit more confidence, but it gave them, I think, a lot of confidence. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see how we do going into King on Thursday.
Yeah, of course, games coming up this week. King College in Bristol on Thursday, and then back here on Saturday and Sunday with Berea and Alice Lloyd. And then you finish up the first semester with Union back here on the 17th. We'll talk about those games in just a little bit. We've got a special guest tonight. We'll meet one of the freshmen to the University of Pikeville women's team, Patrice Tung, out of Marion County.
Right.
What a program over the last several years, and she was an integral part of that championship run last year, a welcome addition to the U-Pike women, and we'll talk about some highlights as well in that win over West Virginia Tech over the weekend. It's the Joanna McNamee Show. Coach, the better mindset, it fits you well.
Oh, good.
It's always great to get a win. Coach Joanna McNamee, head coach of the University of Pikeville women. When we return, we'll take a look at highlights from the win over West Virginia Tech. The Joanna McNamee Show presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Hey,
Welcome back in the Joanna McNamee Show. Joanna McNamee, the head basketball coach of the University of Pikeville women, coming off a 93-59 win over West Virginia Tech over the weekend, and some important games coming up for the UPike women at King College coming up on Thursday, then back at the Expo Center Saturday morning, 11 a.m. tip-off. You can have breakfast with the Bears as the UPike women take on Berea, and then again on Sunday, 2 p.m., Alice Lloyd in town to take on the UPike women. If you haven't had a chance to see this team, you'll want to. Very, very balanced, very deep. It's a young team, but it's a team that we're seeing grow week in and week out. Coach, you spoke of a little growth, mostly in confidence after
Absolutely.
the win over West Virginia Tech. Is your system anywhere near in place?
No, not so much. I mean, we're getting there. I think it's, there's days, and I think that's when I get really excited, where I'm like, wow, we're starting to get it, and then the next day we'll have practice, I'll say, wow, what happened to yesterday? We were doing so good, and now, we did, so there are times, and there's glimpses of it, and like I said, there was a 4-minute spurt in this game where it was my style of basketball, and it was really fun. I even grabbed our point guard and said, isn't that so much more fun? She was like, yeah, it really is.
You looked like you were having more fun on the sidelines as well. It seemed that as I watched the game, it seemed like you coaching were having a better time in that one as well. Wins do that.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely. 93-59, the win over West Virginia Tech. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. We'll get things started in the first half. And our guest coming up later, Patrice Tongue, she'll miss a layup. We'll let her by with that one. How about that? An offensive rebound. There's the miss, the rebound, the putback by Candace Porter. That gets things started in the first half. UPike already out to the lead. Brittany Swindoll, we've seen this before. Those that saw her play her high school basketball, baseline jumper, nails it. Give the assist to Tongue. We'll see the steal. Kalisha Johnson, she does that a lot. Candace Porter in the lane, filling, off the glass, count it. Give the assist to Jamie Jackson on the play. Candace Porter again. We'll take a look at this highlight. Little pick and roll from Haney to Porter, lays it in. It's just a simple pick and roll. It's taught to third graders. Candace Porter defensively. How about a big block? Boy, I love the look of the UPike gym. Close quarters. Little run out here. Candace Porter gets the layup and the assist from Kalisha Johnson. Johnson then drives from the left wing, finishes with the layup. Our guest coming up a little later, Patrice Tongue. You'll see her out front there, a little cross-court pass. She'll get it back. The assist from Haney, lays it in. Great ball movement in this game.
Yeah. It was definitely much better ball. We pushed the ball out.
Push right there again, and there's Candace Porter finishing with the layup and one. She'll go to the stripe. Bears with a lead here late in the first half.
Signature move.
Eldridge going coast to coast, finishing with the layup. Late in the first half now, just seconds to go. Patrice Tongue with the three. Give the assist to Eldridge on the play. And again, Eldridge drives high off the screen from Madden, hits the jumper in the paint. And we go to second half action now. We'll get things started. Eldridge spots up deep in the corner, nails the three. Give the assist to Jackson. Didn't check the assist to turnover ratio in this one, but there's another one. Jackson hits the three with the assist from Cheyenne Madden. Madden, a guest on last week's show. Kalisha Johnson driving from the arc. She finishes with the layup now on the run. Again, the steal and the Patrice Tongue layup with the assist from Johnson. A lot of assists in this game. I want to check those numbers. Here's another steal from Cheyenne Madden. Kristen Haney gets out on the run. The assist from Jackson and the layup. Good finish, good ball movement. That's teamwork we see out of the UPike women. Another steal. Madden in the paint. Knocks it loose, down on the floor, fighting for it. Gets it out. That's Haney with the long pass. Up to Tongue, back to Haney. tosses over to Jackson and hits the three-pointer. Jamie Jackson. Our guest coming up later, Patrice Tongue. Post, lays it in, off the glass, and one. Give the assist to Haney on that play. Brogan Conley gets in on the action. Conley hits the baseline jumper. We've said that before. Conley hits another. How about a long three? Deep in the corner. Spots up and drills it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. UPike women going to a 93-59 win. And Coach always happier after. You show your emotions. You're not one of these coaches. A lot of coaches we see win or lose, and we'll see a poker face. But
I have a terrible.
you show your emotions.
I can't play poker.
No?
No, I'm the worst.
And your kids know when you're mad.
Oh yeah.
There's no hiding it. Do your players understand that as well?
Yes, I think they do. I think they're. I mean, we're getting to know each other better every day.
Sure.
And I think they all agree that it's more fun to win, and you can't really hide enjoying yourself. And basketball's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely. You've got players from programs throughout the Southeast. You've got players from Ashland, Louisville, Memphis, local players as well. You've got players from states away in Maryland. But I think one common denominator with the players on this UPike team, they come from successful programs.
Right. I mean, almost every kid on our team has come from a winning high school program,
Sure.
and they all know, like they remember, like it's starting to come back to them. This is much more fun.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have players that come from programs like that, they suffer a couple of losses, and they're like, what's this about? Patrice Tongue.
Right.
Her team didn't lose a game last year.
Right.
And they get used to winning. It becomes a habit. And when you get a couple of losses, I think they begin to second doubt not just each other, but themselves as well. Confidence a big way in a win, and we're ready to turn this thing around.
Yeah, we are.
3-5, go on the road to King. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the upcoming schedule this weekend with Berea and Alice Lloyd on Saturday and Sunday, and then wrap up the first semester next week. We'll step out and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with our guest. We'll step into the Bears Den. You'll meet one of the UPike women's players, Patrice Tongue, out of Marion County. Up next on the Joanna McNamee Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back in the Joanna McNamee Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. We talk UPike women's basketball each week here on Pike TV and Z1075. We step into the Bears Den now, and a player who's a freshman, a 5'9" freshman guard out in Marion County, Patrice Tongue. And Patrice didn't realize it before tonight, but I've seen her play quite a bit. Saw Marion County play quite a bit last year. Over the last couple of years, I've seen Marion County play. Of course, state championship team, 39-0, and an integral part of that. Patrice Tongue, welcome to the Joanna McNamee Show. You've come a long way in a year. Last year, a senior playing for a team that was expected to be undefeated. We'll talk about that in just a little bit and some of your basketball, but we talk to student athletes in the Bears Den, and student comes first. Let's talk about Patrice Tongue, the student. What's your academic major, if you've decided, and what are some of your future plans?
Sports management is my major. I want to be an athletic trainer.
Athletic training? Mm-hmm. Very good. You've got a long career in front of you, though, before you start taking care of others, right?
Yes.
Patrice Tongue, we do talk about your basketball career, and we know how it finished off, because one of the most celebrated high school girls teams in the state of Kentucky, winning the state championship last year. But let's go back further. Let's talk about when Patrice Tongue first played organized basketball. How young were you?
I don't know how old, but 3rd and 4th grade.
3rd and 4th grade. When did you realize this is something you wanted to do at the next level?
I guess when I really liked it, I just wanted to continue playing.
Did you play other sports in school?
Softball.
Were you any good?
It was okay.
Okay. I gotta ask what position you played, and did you have trouble with the drop ball?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. I can see that. Great athletes, they place up the middle. I can see you playing shortstop. Were you a good hitter?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. 42% from three-point range. You're certainly a hitter from out on the arc. Patrice Stein, let's talk about Marion County. 39-0, undefeated last year. Didn't suffer a loss. Going into last season, you were expected to win every game. How much pressure did that put on you and your teammates at Marion County for the undefeated season? Because whether you realize it or not, in Lebanon, Kentucky, from Paducah to Pikeville, that's all anyone said. It's Marion County's tournament to lose.
We won a lot of pressure. We just went out there and gave it everything each game. Just went out there and tried to win.
Talented team, and you had played together quite a bit growing up. How many of the girls on last year's team had grown up together, had played since third or fourth grade together?
We all grew up together, basically.
Yeah,
Played ball
tremendous,
together.
tremendous team. 39-0, you make the transition to college. What's been the toughest part of that transition of going from high school to playing college basketball? You've been at it now 8 games in, so you've got a little feel for it. That transition, what was the most difficult part?
Just everything. Like, you just have to give it your all. Just keep working. No days off. Just got to keep going.
A lot like a job?
Yeah, or harder.
Or harder, or harder. Coach Joanna McNamee, renowned. She's known throughout the region, some of the toughest practices going. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Pushes you to the limits.
Yes, sir.
Are your practices at UPike tougher than your practices were at Marion County?
Whole lot.
Really?
Whole lot.
Wow. I'm a little surprised by that answer because I had heard that Marion County, some pretty tough work as well. Patrice Stein, averaging nearly 9 points a game. Are you surprised by your success this early at the University of Pikeville?
Yes, sir. I thought I'd struggle a little bit.
Yeah? Making the transition. What did you see when you arrived in Pikeville in August to start classes? What were some of your biggest concerns basketball-wise?
Just getting out there and trying to play without being nervous, like playing at college level.
Sure.
Instead of high school level, getting out of my shell.
Get out of your shell, indeed. Coach and I were talking during the break, shooting 42% from three-point range. She says that she's been telling you all along, you've got to take more shots. Same thing I said. So when does Patrice Stein become comfortable enough to go ahead and knock down that three when you're open?
Just when I'm wide open.
Is that part of your game? Is that something at Marion County? Because at any given time at Marion County, you had 5 players on the floor that could score, and not necessarily look to score, but look for that extra pass. Is that something that you've grown up with, that now you're still looking for that extra pass?
Yeah, kinda, because I didn't really shoot the three a whole lot in high school.
Right.
I just drove and then kicked it out, and they shot the three.
And you've got that game as well. Of course, you can drive as well. Coach has been praising the fact that you can drive as well, not just take the three. We're going to see a more complete Patrice Stein as you get more comfortable, I can imagine.
Yes, sir.
Coach Joanna McNamee obviously was at the state tournament when Marion County won the state championship, and she had begun the recruiting process of Patrice Stein. Let's talk about that recruiting process. How did you arrive at the University of Pikeville? What made you make that decision?
I don't know, I just like the way Coach Mack approached me and said she wanted me on my team, said I could help the Pikeville program, and I just liked it. Got up here and just loved it.
Any promises made? No?
State title.
Hey, how about that? Of course, you come in, and Coach Mack, a lot of success. I don't know if you realize her resume or not, but she's been a winner at every level she's been at, as a player, as a coach at a small college level, and then, of course, on the large level as well in college basketball. She's got a tremendous resume. She's definitely a winner. Patrice Stein, you're definitely a winner. I think you two go hand in hand. You talk about coming to the University of Pikeville. Coach said that you could help. Did you think that your freshman year in college basketball that you would be getting the type of minutes that you're getting, or did you think, okay, first year I'm going to practice, I'll sit on the bench some, or did you have a vision that maybe you'd get this type of minutes?
I thought I'd get a little bit of minutes, but not the minutes I'm getting. So, nah, I didn't think I would get that much.
Patrice Tongue, of course, a 5'9" freshman out of Marion County, coming off the state championship last year. Congratulations, and congratulations, a great start to your career at the University of Pikeville, averaging nearly 9 points per game. And you've been one of the UPike women that we've seen in press releases, one of the leaders of this team in scoring. And we look for big things out of Patrice Tongue. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you.
Patrice Tongue, 5'9" freshman guard out of Marion County, our guest in the Bears Den as we talk UPike women's basketball. Coach Joanna McNamee returns. We'll talk about upcoming games with King College on Thursday and Berea and Alice Lloyd on the weekend back in Pikeville. Stay tuned. More of the Joanna McNamee Show presented by Appalachian Wireless. Welcome back in the Joanna McNamee Show presented by Appalachian Wireless. Andrew Joyce, as we are rejoined now by the head coach of the UPike women's basketball team, Joanna McNamee, and Patrice Tongue. You got a winner in that recruitment.
Absolutely.
Of course, coming from Marion County State Championship team, you know that she is a winner. But sometimes when a player of that caliber has played with the same teammates for so many years as Marion County had, they had been together for a while, sometimes you don't know the skills of the individual player. Did you find anything new from Patrice Tongue's game that you didn't realize before she arrived here?
Nope.
You knew it all?
Yep.
You knew she could drive?
Yep.
You knew she could hit the three?
And you should be able to hit the three by this point.
Yeah.
I did. I think that, I'm still trying to get her to get that confidence in herself.
Sure.
Both on the, I try to make points every day to get her to realize she's one of the fastest kids on our team.
Right.
If not in the top two. And she still does not, I think, all the time believe it. But once it all clicks, she's definitely going to be a player that, could be an all-conference player
Absolutely.
in our conference.
Averaging 9 points per game at this point in her freshman year. Talented young lady, and another great example of the type of character athlete that you have at the University of Pikeville. Just a very well-spoken, nice young lady.
Yes.
How important is that in your recruiting of athletes?
I think it's important. I said it from the day I took the job. I want to put together a team that I can't wait to go win with, that I want to be around,
Sure.
that I want to have at my house, over Christmas break. And I want to just spend time with them on and off the floor because we enjoy each other.
Right.
And you can't really do that with kids that have bad attitudes or that, have that entitledness that so many players have today.
Right.
So we are trying to recruit good kids, good students, and kids that, like you said, that are winners.
Coach Joanna McNamee, King College on the road Thursday, already suffered a loss to King. We were talking earlier, and you said several of their players had career highs against you last time out. What's different this time around?
Hopefully our defense is going to be a lot different this time around, and we won't let them get that confidence shooting behind the arc. And, in our team's defense, I have not seen ever a team shoot, I think, that well.
Right. I think they shot nearly 70% that game.
It was just crazy.
It was crazy numbers.
But, watching it again on film, we started out very sluggish defensively, and I think when you let kids get hot, anything, you just can't let shooters get hot.
Sure. Back here on the weekend, Berea, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. at the Expo
Yes.
Center. Want to encourage everyone to get out. That's before the Farm Bureau Classic. We know a lot of high school basketball fans will be out Saturday to see the Farm Bureau Classic. We encourage you to get here early, 11 a.m. at the Expo, and check out the UPike women's team. Then Sunday at 2 with Alice Lloyd at the Expo.
Yes, yeah, and we would love, and that's one of the reasons we kind of did it right before that Farm Bureau Classic was to try to get more people in.
Sure.
So
Let's pick up about 3 wins before we talk again.
that sounds great.
Coach Joanna McNamee, head coach of the UPike women, as the women will be at King College in Bristol Thursday, at the Expo Saturday at 11. The Expo Sunday afternoon at 2, taking on Alice Lloyd College. You're invited to be there and support the orange and black. Thanks tonight to Patrice Tung, our guest in the Bears Den, Coach Joanna McNamee, all the gang at Pike TV and EKB Sports. I'm Andrew Joyce. Thanks for tuning in.